Today's subject, every sound is mantra. Understand? Every sound can lead you to enlightenment. Means every moment the possibility for enlightenment is open. Hundred and 23rd Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, in the 3rd chapter, 17th verse. It's a powerful samyama Patanjali is leading us. Sabdartha pratyayanam itaretara adhyasat shankara tat pravibhaga samyamat sarvabhuta rutajnanam. God. Swami Vivekananda translates this sutra as, through samyama on word, meaning and knowledge which are ordinarily confused, comes the knowledge of all animal sounds. Swami Prabhavananda translates the sutra as, by taking samyama on the sound of a word, one's perception of its meaning and one's reaction to it, three things which are ordinarily confused, one obtains understanding of all sounds uttered by living beings. Swami Satchidananda translates as, a word, its meaning, and the idea behind it are normally confused because of superimposition upon one another. By samyama on the word, sound produced by any being, knowledge of its meaning is obtained. Let me enter into the sutra. I'll give my own experience. The technical term in the sutra is 3 words. Sabda Artha Pratyayanam. Pratyayanam. Sabda Artha Pratyayanam. Sound. What is meant by sound? And consciousness which experiences the sound and what is meant by the sound, the buddhi. Understand? Sound, the purpose, what is meant by the sound, and the space, intelligence where both are happening. For example, I use the word cow. That is sound. What is meant by the word, that animal, is artha, means the purpose. Where the word cow creates the meaning of the cow picture in your mind, in your inner space. The moment I utter the word cow, immediately in your inner space that 4 leg, 2 horn, 1 tail, animal is there. The space where that is happening here is buddhi, pratyayanam. Please understand. Sabda, artha, pratyayanam. Sound, the purpose or the meaning of the sound, and space where the idea of the sound suddenly happens. Buddhi. These 3 gets overlapped in life. Please understand, this 3 gets overlapped in the life. Because it gets overlapped, whole life is a confusion. Now, start doing samyama on these 3. When you do samyama on these 3, the first thing will happen is you will understand all these 3 are separate. You will experience the gap between these 3. First thing. Second, any sound, you will know the meaning. For example, now, few minutes before, I don't know whether you observed or not, a dog barked outside. The sound came. Actually, the sound is, when you hear the sound, oh, dog barks, that's all. You do not know the meaning. I know the meaning. The dog has a liver problem. If you catch the dog and check, you will find it has a liver problem and digestion problem. If you tell the housekeeping people to catch the dog and check the dog, it will have a liver problem and digestion problem. We can prove it. Understand, when you do samyama on the sound, you know the meaning of it. When all the 3 are separate, the sound, meaning, the space where both are happening, our connection is happening. When there is a gap between these 3, means clarity between these 3, suddenly you know the deeper meanings and happening behind the sound. You will know the meaning of sounds created by animals, sounds created by the trees, sounds created by the stones. If you want to know the language of birds, want to know the language of animals, want to know the language of trees, want to know the language of nature, want to understand, do samyama on this sound. This will give you extraordinary powers. That's the first thing. Second thing, this samyama will give you the meaning of the cosmic sound Om and make you enlightened. Understand? Patanjali is a great master. He picks up very tasty roots. Not only the roots lead you to enlightenment, even on the way you will have some beautiful, extraordinary powers which continuously encourages you. Patanjali knows the human psychology. He is not a dry guy. He is not a dry man. When somebody is nailing you on the cross, saying, "Oh God, oh Father, forgive them, they not know what they are doing." Come on. Just look and burn them. This can be used. Father, they not know what they are doing, forgive them. To train disciples. Once in a while. But not a life technology. I tell you, the science which I am bringing to the world is going to be alive just because so many extraordinary powers it is going to give to people. No, I am seeing. See, I am seeing. Initially I was struggling for almost 8 years to make our boys and girls, our brahmacharis and brahmacharinis to do the yoga. Now, I added a little bit of weightlifting which shows the muscles immediately in 5-6 days. The immediate effect. And I I am seeing the whole group is there. Because straight result is there. Immediate effect. The change in the body. Same way, any technique should give immediate result also. It should give long-term enlightenment, but at least few extraordinary powers immediately. Only then you will have the inspiration to practice the science. Otherwise, why will you be sitting and closing your eyes, doing something for 12 years? At the end, you may not receive the check. No. The science I am bringing is going to be like directly awakening the extraordinary powers. I do not want dull, dead, dumb, dirty, third-rate donkey Vedantians. I know these so-called Vedantians, they talk tall. No, extraordinary siddhis should not be used, power should not be expressed. Foolish fellows. End of their life, they have only one thing, a huge belly and filled with depression. That's it. I have seen. Huge belly filled with depression, nothing else. Impractical ideas. Here is Swami Vivekananda, who says, practice these techniques just for 40 days, 50 days, you will have some extraordinary powers, and those powers will give you intense inspiration, passion to continue the practice, interest to continue the practice. I am seeing, the moment I started awakening the Kundalini and initiating people into levitation, the intensity of the people practicing has exploded. Now everybody is waiting. When will they start levitating? When will they start levitating? And everybody is there properly for satsang. Everybody is there properly meditating. See, it's only one small power. Levitation is not enlightenment actually. But not only it leads to enlightenment, it gives you the excitement to practice every day. I sincerely request, with all my humbleness, Ramakrishna Mission and Chinmaya Mission, all these Hindu missionaries, come on, take up few practices which gives little powers and experiences to people, which gives them excitement to continue their practice. Otherwise, I know these great missions, so sincere, such a huge infrastructure, just only one misunderstanding. Any technique which gives extraordinary powers and experiences should not be used. No, it is not. That should not be the case. Understand? You should not get caught with that power itself. That is different. Just for that, dumping the whole science is such a big wastage. Understand? It's like just because you may have split in the end of the hair, completely shaving the head. Arey, come on, when you have a split in the end of the hair, cut it. Cut that part. Just because somebody may steal the money, or you may feel like if you have money, one day you may buy one cigarette and smoke, never have money at all, starve and die. That is not a solution. Come on, the right solution is when you get those extraordinary powers, have a deep devotion to your guru or your God or leader and surrender it. Say that I have this extraordinary power. I am very happy. that it is exciting and it is inspiring me for continuing the practice, but I am not interested in using it. Let me go to the next. That should be the right attitude. Instead, no, don't do this pranayam, don't do meditation technique, don't do samyama. You may get some extraordinary powers and you may get diverted from the spiritual path. Finally, what happens? I have seen all these missionaries, they are swamis, extraordinary depression and can't even go to doctor because of the shyness. Fall into the depression by 45 and feeling their whole life is waste, miserable. I tell you, when a person takes up a spiritual decision in his life, from that moment his life is sacred. It can't be wasted. It's too costly. It is too costly. And I really request, come on, take up the teachings of your own masters. Siddhis are dirty when it is misused. Money is dirty when it is misused. Money itself is not dirty. Siddhis themselves are not dirty. The fear of misusing should not make you poor. Just like fear of misusing the money, they decided to be a poor. No. Same way, fear of misusing the powers, they decided to be poor in siddhis. Poverty in wealth and poverty in siddhis are equivalent. And it is life negative. I wanted all my swamis, brahmacharis, acharyas, anand samajis, satsangis. I am introducing a new word, satsangis, who are attending the satsanga every day continuously and doing all the homework, part of the mystery school. I am calling them satsangis. I want all our satsangis to radiate extraordinary powers. Understand? Have extraordinary spiritual powers. You are a rich man's kid. When suddenly you experience some powers, like suddenly you know what the opposite person is going to talk. Suddenly you know who is going to knock your room. Suddenly you know what decision is going to come out of this conversation. Don't brush them aside. Don't put them aside. Don't say they are coincidence. No, dig out. At that moment, for example, you are feeling, suddenly this is the statement going to come out in this conversation. When you feel, and when it really happens, feel at that moment how your throat was, how your breathing was, how your skin was feeling. Bring yourself back to that same again. One of my brahmachari asked me, Swamiji, I wanted to always be in samadhi. How it will happen? By intense being alive. Samadhi can never come by being in the lower states of awareness. It can come only for a leader. I told him, first be a leader in the outer world. Somebody goes to Ramanuja and asks, I want to experience the Parabhakti, the great devotion for Ranganatha. Ramanuja asked, have you fallen in love with somebody in your life? With a girl or with some relation, father, mother, or a friend, or a girl, or with somebody. He said, no. I am an Aishtika brahmachari and I am a great sadhu I never fell in love with anybody. I am not attached to anybody. I want to be attached only to Ranganatha, Parabhakti. Ramanuja said, get lost. Go and learn how to fall in love with somebody whom you can see with physical eyes first. Then you can fall in love with experience, the extraordinary energy, God, whom you can't see with the physical eyes. Now you are seeing people with physical eyes. You are not able to fall in love with those people, feel connected with those people. How will you feel connected? With some energy which you can't see with physical eyes. Get lost. Go and learn that first and then come back. I'll teach you Parabhakti. Same way. First become a leader. Learn the technology of life. Actually, when you are pressured, when the question of survival comes in your life, you have to now become a leader and learn the tricks of the world, techniques of the world, techniques of talking to people, enrolling people. Enrolling means not for just a program. Enrolling them for your ideas, convincing them, relating with them. Only then suddenly some extraordinary leadership qualities comes up. You know the knack of living. The non-mechanical parts of the brain awakens. Only then you can even think of samadhi. Only when you become leader, the higher states of awareness starts opening up in you. If somebody wants samadhi experience, I can give a simple technique. Start a temple from zero and go on talking to people, inspire people and create the temple and do Kumbhabhishekam. On that day, I promise I'll give you samadhi. I promise. Start a temple from scratch. Build it. Bring it to life. And because by that time, all your laziness will be broken left and right. And you became fully aware. All the suffering you will face, all the oppositions you will face, especially if you build my temple, the amount of opposition you will face, suffering you will face, you will cross enlightenment by the time you complete. Samadhi is not for lazy bums. Samadhi is for the people whose all 21 logic can be activated and alive at a time. It is the internal passion. These guys think God is like a snake. When a snake charmer blows some boom, 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 and then the snake will dance. So they can blow their nose for a few minutes and the God will dance in front of them. It is the altered state of awareness. Come on. It's a tremendous life, being alive. Learn multitasking. Learn first to be a leader. Ishwaratva. I am translating Anandeshwara as bliss leader. Ishwaratva means leader. First, start expressing these extraordinary powers of a leader. I have seen, I have studied the history of all major religious organizations and the spiritual organizations, as long as they were producing leaders, the spiritual strength was also alive. See, in those days, Vivekananda will suddenly call a brahmachari and give him kavi, sannyas, and tell him, go to that country or that place, start the mission. Nothing will be given except his bus fare or the train fare. Those days, train fare. Or I think even train fare. Those maybe some traveling expense. That's all. Nothing else will be given. The guy who goes and starts becomes enlightened by the time he completes the project. As long as this kind of leaders were getting created, the spiritual strength was there in those organizations. You can go out. Not only that, even while you are having some other work, only body is working. Engage all parts of your brain in multitasking. First become a leader. Then the altered states of awareness will start and enlightenment can happen. Samyama is powerful path for enlightenment. You need some extraordinary powers, inspiring, exciting things in your life for you to continue to practice. I'm seeing very clearly, even in our organization, whoever, when I said go and start a mission in place, when they go and sit and start doing hard, intelligent work and becoming leader, I'm seeing they are radiating energy and experience, radiating things, raising themselves to samadhi. Understand, you are surrendering to your demon. After the middle age, you will have only a big belly filled with depression. Nothing more. Become a leader. Anybody who has become a leader before 30, giving enlightenment is nothing. It's just like how I can give a small fruit to them. Just like that, the enlightenment can be given. Because already all nervous systems are alive, awake, open, ready. I just need to pour myself in him. That's it. Life negative ideas should be broken first. The ideas that siddhis should not be experienced. No. I tell you, experience siddhis. Now I am giving you the exact technique. Actually, this samyama, if you practice, it will directly heal all the disease related to your eyes and hearing. Please understand. In medical science, ear, nose, throat is connected. But actually in yogic science, ears and eyes are connected. As per the science of the nadi, ears and eyes are directly linked. Ear, eye and the power of speaking. These three are directly linked. Not ENT. E-E-S, speaking power. Hearing, seeing and speaking. All three powers are directly related to Ajna Chakra, third eye. That is why I am telling you, when you learn speaking and enrolling people for certain ideas, you will have developed hearing and your eyesight will be clear. This samyama directly will help you to clear the problems related to your hearing, eyesight and ability to speak. If you have the stammering during speaking or stage fear, please understand, in the whole world, the stage fear is, more number of people are having stage fear than the death fear. If you ask what is the worst fear, it is not death fear, it's a stage fear. All the three problems can be solved, healed with this samyama. Sapta artha pratyayanam itaretara adhyasat shankara tat pravibhaga samyamat sarvabhuta rutagñanam. I'll give you the exact samyama. Sit and feel your inner space is the screen on which the sounds come and hit and make the meaning. Understand? Your inner space is a conscious eardrum. In the eardrum, sound comes and hits and the meaning is made. But your inner space is sound comes and hits, not only meaning is made, you can witness both the sound and the meaning. Understand? Don't hear just in your eardrums. Hear through your Anandagandha. Now, when a sound comes, see, now when a sound hits you, what you do? It hits your eardrum and meaning is made and actions are taken. Don't do that. Sit, have restful awareness for the sound to hit your Anandagandha. Make any meaning or response to any sound in your Anandagandha. For example, now when you sit, you are hearing the fan sound. You are hearing this small tuk 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 sound from the roof. Make all this meaning in your Anandagandha. When you sit like that, you will start hearing some bird sound. You will have meaning for that bird sound happening in you. Not only that, if your spouse, even if he or she is just breathing, from that breathing sound you know what mood she is in, what mood he is in. Sometime you will see, you will send a strong letter, or you may not even send a letter, you may just ask my secretary, I wanted to meet Swamiji. I'll say, no, now I am not interested in meeting. Because now I know you are not interested in listening to me. You are interested only in fighting with me. I'll just avoid meeting. But sometime, you will not even be asking to talk to me. When I walk, I'll ask, hey, what is going on? Anything to tell me? Means you are interested in listening to me. Just by the breathing sound, you know what mood the other person is in. It's an extraordinary siddhi. And by the sound, you know whether there is going to be a flood or not in the river. The river sound will give you the message. Not only that, you can ask the river, what is the temperature up? From where you are coming? How is the ocean mood? Is there going to be any tsunami? You can receive and send message from both corners of the river. You can just ask him, is that guy taking bath in you? Just you can ask Ganges and Hardwar and get information about Calcutta. Understand? Sending and receiving message through nature was our telecommunication system. I tell you, when I am in this body, I'll establish this as a foolproof science, like modern day communication systems. You will see. It is possible. Just the technique and the practice, nothing else. You can send, receive informations, understand the meanings of the birds, animals, rocks. When you go deeper, you can just listen the eternal cosmic sound and meaning of the sound, the cosmos and the space where it is happening is your inner space. It means you are enlightened. Understand? First step, try to listen sounds from your Anandagandha. See, your Anandagandha is a conscious eardrum, where a sound comes and hits, meaning is made, but you are watching both. The buddhi, where the sound is hitting and meaning is happening, is a third entity. Be aware of all these three, that's all. Whenever you find time, and if you are interested in this samyama, take up this samyama. Please understand, every day I'll go on be talking about one samyama. If you are interested in healing your eyes, if you have the problem with eyes, ears, eyes are talking, take up this samyama. It will completely heal you. Not only heal you, give you extraordinary powers. I have seen Raghupati Yogi playing with this samyama. He'll just create one small sound. All the snakes in that area will get into the mood of that intercourse and start dragging their body towards him. Because he knows when a snake, the snakes wanted to have physical relationship, a kind of a subtle sound they create. He will create that sound and all the snakes will be hypnotized and they will be around him. He will just take them and take the venom. He used to make medicines out of the snake venom. And they will all be lying down like a babies for him to pick up one by one and take the venom. I have seen in a stone, it's called Kalavam, where he will take that venom and rub it and add medicines, and he will make Siddha medicines. The power of sound, playing with sound. So first level, this samyama will heal all your hearing, seeing, talking problem, the physical level. Second, it will give you extraordinary siddhis, like finding out other person's mood just by the sound of the breath, or making the meaning, understanding the animals' languages, understanding the languages of nature, ultimately enlightenment itself. Because when you sit and listen to the sound of the eternal cosmos, that oh, when that sound hits your inner space, be aware the meaning it makes. Cosmos is the meaning it makes. This both can be grasped, experienced only by an enlightened inner space. When you grasp that too, you are enlightened. That's it. Understand? This samyama will directly lead to physical healing of hearing, seeing and talking problems, give you the extraordinary siddhis of understanding the language of animals and nature. Third, ultimately enlightenment itself by experiencing the cosmic sound, Nada Brahma. Sirasasana and Sarvangasana will help this samyama. And Mahamantra means the intense humming will help this samyama. Mahamantra technique will help this samyama. And Sambhavi Mudra can help this samyama. Please understand. So I can give as a technique this samyama. First, do Shirasasana and Sarvangasana. Then, do 7 minutes of intense humming. Then, 21 times of Sambhavi Mahamudra. Then, sit and do this samyama as long as you can. You will experience the maximum benefit of this samyama and experience extraordinary siddhis. I bless you all who are sitting with us at this moment. 613 places in 225 cities in 28 countries. Let all of you achieve, experience, live, express, radiate and share the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you.